Here we are, Lost Maples. It's January 24th and it's almost 80 degrees. Jack and I are going to do one night on the West Loop Trail. So come along with us. Well, I kind of wished I had brought my convertible pants because it's pretty hot today and I'm kind of sweaty. And shorts make a big difference. And we're doing the West Loop in a clockwise direction, which was what was recommended by the ranger when we checked in. And she said that there would be water in this creek because they had rain recently, but I haven't seen a drop yet, and I'm pretty sure there's not gonna, oh well, wait, there's a little wet right there, nothing we can harvest though. Oh, here's some nasty looking water. At least Jack can get a drink, get his feet cooled. Does that feel good, buddy? Well, you can bet when it rains, the water comes whooshing down through here to carve that out like that. Yeah, when I asked the ranger which direction was the preferred way, and she said clockwise, I suppose I should have asked her why, because this kind of feels like it's all been uphill. And I know that the first part of the trail on the other side is pretty flat. It's not a steep climb, but it's just kind of a steady uphill. But that's okay. Maybe I can lose a little weight. Saying was back there a little ways, which I would have shown you if the camera had been on, was a little puddle with some pretty clear water. So before Jack got his butt in there and stirred it all up, I managed to get 2 liter Gatorade bottles filled, and we'll filter those before we use them, obviously. Oh, here we are at Primitive Campground D. Let's see what it looks like. So what I was saying was we were probably going to have lunch here. This is about 1.5 miles in from where the car was, and then we go uphill some way and we'll stay at either E or F on the top of the hill, and then tomorrow it'll be downhill from there past the ponds. Not overly impressed with this, but here's a log to sit on. So time for some lunch. Well, this has been pretty steep coming up here. At one point I got my iPhone out and put the incline tool on the trail, and it was about a 20-degree grade. So now, it wasn't all like that, but a good portion of it was. But hallelujah, I think we've basically almost, pretty close, made it to the top. And it's hot out here for being January 24th. What's up with that? I sure didn't need to bring all the under quilt and top quilt and all that stuff. Okay. Here we are. We're here. It's where we had lunch. This is steep. This campsite E is back there. Campsite F is that way. Not sure which one we're going to do. But I can tell you this, I'm going to come over here and sit on this bench in the shade and relax, if that's okay with you guys. Well, I wish I was young again. Not stupid young, but young enough that I could do this without feeling like I was going to die. All right. Well, we just visited campsite E, which looks like would be good for tents, and I have to admit I didn't walk all the way back there because it was a lot farther than I thought it would be from the junction where we go to campsite F and where I left the pack. So hopefully primitive campsite F will have decent trees for hanging the hammock and getting out of the sun. And I think I need to drink some water and chill for a few minutes before I put the pack back on and head to campground F. I'm also thinking if F sucks, I can keep going until we get down where I stayed last time, which I know has places for hammocks. So we could always do that. If we do stay out on F, there's a good chance I'm going to take the Jeep trail down the other side, because I'm pretty sure that's going to be less rocky than the West Trail loop itself. Anyway, I see something way over there on the horizon. I hope it's not a tent, because I really like being by myself and not have to worry about Jack. If I had brought binoculars, I could tell. Or it could be a weather station. Do you see it? Right somewhere right there, the little white dot. Anyway, I think we're heading that way. But we'll gotta get back to the pack first. Well, this looks like it's going to be home for the night. This is primitive camp area F. And I think we might have some nice, I don't remember what the moon's going to be like tonight, but we might be able to do some star trails. but this is one of the only places I saw where we have two decent looking trees that will support a hammock. So this is it. Well, we're at camp. Just took a little walk up and down the trail through the primitive campground F to see what was out there. We did kind of a short one before we picked this spot, but now that I was all set up, I thought I'd take a little longer walk and see. And this is the best spot. So it's right when you come in by the ground fires prohibited sign. And that's too bad because it's always nice to have a fire. But up at here, I don't even see any fire rings, so I guess everybody's being pretty good. Got the Cuban tarp set up in a porch mode. It's a little noisy because it's kind of windy up here, but I don't think that's going to be an issue. I've got Jack's bed situated for him over there. He's got the Z-pad and a down blanket to curl up on. Probably not going to need all these under quilts and top quilts and what have you because it's still extremely warm. So we probably got, I don't know, an hour or so till sunset. And then I got to figure out how to amuse myself before it becomes bedtime. So lesson learned here would be that on these short hikes you're better off leaving later in the afternoon so you don't get here and set up and have to sit around all day. Although it was kind of nice. I've been reading a book on my iPhone. This evening's meal was supposed to be an MRE, which was spaghetti and meat sauce, and it was one of the self-heating ones, and I picked it because since we were coming way up on top of this bluff, there wouldn't be any water up here and I didn't want to carry a whole bunch of water. Unfortunately, the heater didn't work very well and the spaghetti and meat sauce was cold. So it's now buried under a rock, and I guess I'll skip dinner. Shoot. Well, at least I'm not that hungry. And I still have some sausage and cheese from lunch left, so I can eat that. Good deal. Alright, so Wednesday morning, we're all packed up and back on the trail. We're taking the service road from Campground F down to the springs, and then we'll take the east-west trail back to the car. A couple of miles, not real far, I don't think. Pretty interesting night. The wind gusted all night, and then it got cold. And it kept blowing the blanket off of Jack, so sometime during the night I picked him up and brought him into the hammock with me. And at first he wasn't too sure about it, but once he got warm in there, he just conked out. So, still a little windy today, but not so much. Sun's out, some high cirrus clouds. And that's all I got to say about that. Alright, we're heading down the hill, and it's pretty steep right now, but the worst part is that all these little rocks are kind of like walking on ball bearings. You just kind of just stand there and roll down the hill on your feet, which is kind of scary. So, taking it slow. Of course, I wish I had four legs like Jack, because he's not having any trouble at all. So we made it down the hill. We refilled the water at the spring and then took a leisurely stroll back to the car. And that was Lost Maples, the West Loop.